Alright, in order to grow your own mushrooms, like oyster mushrooms at home, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need a mushroom, a sharp paring knife, and a box cutter knife, 6-quart containers, which you can get at the dollar store, and corrugated cardboard. Okay, to start out with, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of make a pattern for cutting out the cardboard. You want to make sure that the corners are going to fit inside the box. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of mark where this should be real quick. There we go. And double corrugated, nice and thick. There we go. So make sure that it fits in your box, and then we'll go on to the next step.
You just ripped it off.
That's all right. What I'm doing is I'm taking advantage of the slot that's in the table, any place for the blade to go. Oops.
Yeah, cardboard likes to rip rather than cut.
Yeah, and then just cut them to length.
You can fit in pieces.
We're going to have lots of pieces in each container. And I'll show you, we'll see that part. Alright, the next step is to take hot water, as hot as you can stand. It doesn't have to be boiling or anything, but just hot water. And cover the cardboard completely with the hot water. You kind of got to stick it in at an angle and bleed the air off to get it to sink, because you're going to want to keep it completely submerged. And you can just put like a cupful of water on top of it to keep it underneath the water while it's soaking. It's going to need to soak for about 15 to 20 minutes. Alright, so we've soaked the cardboard for about a half an hour, and you can see that it's turning color. That's one of the ways you can tell that it's ready to separate. And what we're going to do, actually let's do it like this. And when you do the cardboard, cut it so that it's running, the corrugates are running this way as opposed to that way. So we'll just set that out, get rid of the water. And then what you want to do is start separating the cardboard. Oh, this is coming apart very nicely. This corrugate, well, this corrugate's got pieces in the middle. That's cool. Okay. And so you put a couple of flat pieces down, a few of the flat pieces down. And this. And then set in some corrugate. And then you're going to take the mushroom and you're just going to cut little tiny pieces off, maybe a 1/4 of an inch thick or so. The ones at the base tend to do better than the ones up in the top, but you can do it from any part of the mushroom. And you just kind of spread these out in here. And the mushrooms are, we're growing mycelium, which is the base of the mushroom plant, and the mushrooms are actually like flowers, but they're made of the exact same kind of cellular material as the mycelium, and so when you rip it apart like this, the mycelium just starts running. So there's a layer of pieces, and then we're going to put a couple of layers of corrugate on top of that, and then on top of that we'll put more of this, and this is mainly just to keep it really wet, to hold a lot of moisture in it. You don't want water pouring out, but you do want it to be wet. So we've got another layer, and then we'll add some more pieces of the mushroom to this, and just little bits. I mean, you don't want big pieces. Big pieces don't do any better. Smaller pieces actually do better than big pieces, because the mushroom is now thinking that it's injured and it's got to grow a new mushroom, and it will. Oops.
A new mycelium.
Yeah, it will run. Yeah, it will. The mycelium will start running. Okay.
Guys, don't cut this. It's faggot.
Okay.
It does this.
And I'll put a few more pieces in here. Come on, come apart. There we go. Oops, that one doesn't seem to want to come apart very well. Actually, there we go. All right. And the corrugate creates a moist environment that some air can get to, because while the mycelium is growing, it metabolizes things and produces carbon dioxide, and buildup of carbon dioxide will slow or completely arrest at some point the growth of new mycelium. Okay, so that was an oyster mushroom. We're filming her. Can you please be quiet? There we go. And we'll put a few more on top. Then what you're going to do is seal the box up, put it in a dark place in a room that's about room temperature, about 70 degrees, and then once a day you just open it up and burp it, fan it a little bit to let the CO2 out, and then seal it right back up. And in about 3 or 4 days you'll start to have mycelium running out of those bits and growing into the cardboard.